More than 50 countries answer Ukraine's request for air defense equipment.
Here's a summary of the article.
More than 50 countries have met to promise more weapons for Ukraine, focusing on its need for air defenses after Russia launched its most intense missile strikes since the start of the war. Opening the meeting of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group at the headquarters of NATO in Brussels, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin said Russia's huge wave of missile attacks this week had laid bare the malice and cruelty of its war. Ukraine had shifted the momentum in the conflict since September with extraordinary gains but would need more help to keep fighting, he said. Russian attacks using more than 100 missiles have killed at least 26 people across Ukraine since Monday, when President Vladimir Putin ordered what he called retaliatory strikes against Ukraine for an explosion on a bridge. Air raid sirens sounded across swaths of Ukraine for a third day on Wednesday, and there were reports of some shelling but no sign of a repeat of the intensive countrywide strikes of the previous 2 days. Since Monday's attacks, Germany has sent the first of 4 planned IRIS-T-SLM air defense systems, while the US said it would speed up the delivery of a promised NASAMS air defense system. As his forces have lost ground on the battlefield since September, Mr. Putin has escalated the conflict, ordering the call-up of hundreds of thousands of reservists, proclaiming the annexation of occupied Ukrainian territory and repeatedly threatening to use nuclear weapons to protect Russia.
This post received a score of 22,000, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Ukraine crowdsourced a defense, and is kickstarting drones. It's a wild world, gents. Different times.
But goddamn did Ukraine bring the warriors.
So did the rest of the world. Their foreign legion is tens of thousands strong. Probably the most significant foreign legion in recent history outside of France.
Wait, what? Are you sure it is that many? Where did you get this figure? I've gotten the impression it was more like a few hundred. Not tens of thousands. Otherwise we would have seen more reports of death. This war is very deadly? Even if it is primarily so to the Russians, it's still ridiculously dangerous, much more so than Iraq or similar. Edit. Nope. Edit. Nope.
Greater than just 2 weeks after Zelensky asked foreigners to serve in the Ukrainian International Legion, Ukraine announced that more than 20,000 foreign volunteers from over 52 different countries had arrived. Many of the new arrivals were well trained with prior military experience.
Thanks. Good info.
Didn't Ukraine offer money for surrendered aircraft? Maybe Russian pilots should start considering that instead of the alternative of getting shot down.
Anyone who flies in Su-57 to Warsaw will become very rich. They have to have zero friends and family, and the Russians vet such pilots to make sure they have potential hostages in addition to no questions of loyalty. It's been known since the early 1960s that the US, UK and Israel all pay generously for any examples of new rival military equipment they don't have examples of. There have without a doubt been CIA and Mossad agents on the ground in Ukraine since this war started, pulling out fat wads of US petrodollars and handing them to soldiers and farmers alike who have captured top-tier Russian equipment.
And X-200B. Exactly. This is how the Javelin missile got created. USSR had a bunch of heavily armored tanks, but they were weak from above, so a missile was made that would strike from above and cook the ammo, destroying everything and everyone. Then their own tanks were designed to be less susceptible to that type of attack. And X-200B. Disclaimer. I am not an expert and just have a very vague understanding on how this all works. Edit. And I'm proof of this. A kind Redditor pointed out I'm talking about the Javelin missile, not a Stinger missile.
Did you mean the Javelin missile? Stinger as anti-aircraft.
Javelin. Yes. I reiterate my vague understanding.
Covered in this article, remarks by U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, before press left the room. Submitted October 13, 2022 007 Greenwich Mean Time +2 ETA 1. Please check updated times of other articles already submitted. ETA 2, headline for linked piece was updated by SBS News at 4:28 Greenwich Mean Time +2.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.